He's starting to play again, actually. I'm wondering if he's trying to get warmed up for a bigger commitment. Then this time, he's going to be playing in the pink as the Roos. Next to him, we are going to have, in the green, it's going to be Puppy Paw. Set up in an open field is the English. Wood is fairly far away, but he can play the southern corner. Then, of course, you've got Wham as the Marlians, who's just got a free start here. Plenty of wood. Gold to the east that should be uncontested. And, of course, all the food you could ever want. Fishing. But there is going to be fishing warfare here. You're noticing this. Core on the English. You've got Beastie in the teal as a Delhi. And then north of that, it's going to be Donati in the blue as the Mongols. They are all playing on the same lake. This is likely to turn into a bloodbath. Meanwhile, elsewhere, this time around, Recon, the tricky Raccoon's playing in this one. Glad to see the return of him, as he's going to be whipping out the Delhi. And he has a pretty free opening here. Plenty of resources in the area. Plenty of gold, wood, a few relics around, and then all the fishing you could ever desire behind him that no one else is likely to fight with. And then rounding it out, we have, of course, got Divine DFP again. This time, less of an awkward pinch like we saw in the last game. This time, he'll actually start on a lake on his lonesome as the Mongols. And, well, some people are going to join him on that. Recon, interestingly enough, finds himself on this lake as opposed to the free one to the north, and is also going to be joined in that area by Puppy Paw. And there is a baby lake over here for Numidon. Plenty of shoreline fish, so not a bad position to find yourself in, but pricey initial investment into the fishing boats, of course, for the Roos. Well, and people saying, what, a mess of resources down the middle of the map? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how the generation works most times. Interestingly enough, this is the first one we've seen where it wasn't a weird, huge chunk of resources off to an edge. Like, this is probably the closest, is having boar, gold, sacred site, berries, and fish, plus all the wood. But I feel like no one ever really uses boar in these modes, so that element matters less. The relic spawns are absurd, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, this is an HRE player's wet dream, I'm telling you right now. All the relics have spawned in one line. Good lordy. Oh, yeah, I remember. I never done those push-ups. Let me fix that. So I remember people will redeem some push-ups. We're able to do it this early in the game. Only 2 Mongols, though. I'm just looking where the trade is located, if there's options here. I'm not necessarily expecting trade in this game. I just think it's a bit too hard with the locations. Maybe Divine DFP is the only one who can, but it'd be like maybe a third of the map trade. Anything longer is too risky. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 push-ups. I'm sorry, guys. That's all I got in me. I've been too busy carrying Merlin in duos. It's very hard. You know, that takes all my muscular effort. Ugh. And then, of course, there's the fighting against Donati in free-for-all. So, yeah, it takes it all out of you. Speaking of Artista, where is his gold? Well, there is golden stone, folks. It's just more than a stone's throw away for poor Artie here. So plenty of food and wood. Gold very much a problem, though. And considering that Recon has nobody else near him in the north side, it can be very difficult to get access to gold up there. So you'd have to go and ask Beastie kindly near his base. Now, one thing that actually could work out really well here for Donati is that Recon is typically more of a turtley player. He doesn't try to aggro. He kind of keeps who's lonesome. It's possible that he gets out on this gold and the stone without any contest because Recon's likely to funnel his interest into the center here with all the gold veins and the berries around. So we'll see how that one does transpire in the coming minutes. Oh, actually, yes, let's use that fast forward a little bit. I'm going to speed it up a little bit in this early game because obviously we just have the openers where there's not too much harass. They are now discovering each other. I believe Core and Beastie saw each other straight away. So rat racing won't necessarily be possible for either. If we're talking about like being a real rat playing that late game, even though he's Mongols, I actually quite like Divine DFP's position. Kind of like layering in to backside, eventually moving your primary TC into the corner so you can store your king. Could give him a safe place to play from. Also love the fact you can use this lake as a shortcut to move across and flank attack players like Recon. Recon overall should have the best position here though, right? Can play into the northern corner. Can easily even think about just pushing his king across to the safe side of the shoreline. and then defending the shores. Other player that can kind of contest that is Puppy Paw, but Puppy Paw's position has a lot less resources in for the mid-late game. If Recon's able to consolidate on the backside and then push into center, he should have the lion's share of resources on this map. So Tech-up's complete. So we should start switching to aggro as they're starting to come through. Now, Cool was the first one up, but so far chooses to keep to himself. Instead, being an arsehole on land, he's going to actually start moving out the first Lombo. So, frustration with BC. Meanwhile, Donati was able to move all the way out to the north side and will be going to the Silver Tree for the opportunity to trade later on. He can start to slow this down a little bit as Tech-up after Tech-up comes through. I don't think we've got any big surprises here. Kremlin coming out from Numidan, just trying to block out the few wooden options that Puppy Paw has close to his base. He does, of course, have the southern tree line completely uncontested, though, and I'm not sure if Numidan realizes this yet. I think this is more for his own safety than anything else, right? Secure the gold, but it feels bad when you have to go for a wooden fortress plus a Kremlin here. You're just not really getting much out of it. Beastie. We're the first to be a blocker on the ward. He kind of has to here. He's boxed between two players, so he's always going to have to be the first one pushing out naval vessels as there's too much threat for him. Looks like we are going to actually see the arrow slits coming through. Question is now whether Artie wants to milk this. I think there's a cool world in which Artie could get into piracy and then you build like free archery ships and just spam down all these fishing boats. And piracy by then pays for itself and then some. But it's pretty gammed at this point. Further in the game, around like 15, 16 minutes, is actually a pretty desirable play. But this early on, it's a bit too much in terms of price. South side. Oh, look at the pretty yellow. Malians everywhere do be seen. It's a very free game for Wham. Only player who won't have to defend himself in any sort of way. Now, I'm expecting Recon's going to get some notice as this goes on. He's had to contest on water a little bit, right? Or will have to, considering that Green has set up on the same lake, as has Purple. But when it comes to Wham, I mean, nobody. Nobody's here but him. Only risk he does have, of course, is, like I said, there's pit mines. He has to reach out. It's safe territory now, but by the time you're castle agent on your third pit mine, you kind of get into an awkward position there, right? Instead, he done this. He's actually set up on the central area with pit mines. Pretty cool idea considering nobody else is contesting that right now. So we do get the 2OV, double blacksmith, so BC understands that, the time is not now to strike. He's just prepping himself for premium units at a late phase in the game. I think that's the best thing you can do with where he's sitting here. He's just too boxed in. You're the meat in the sandwich. Very reminiscent of game number 1, where we saw Beastie re-out pretty fast after he got sandwiched by Mongols. Although there's no Mongols in sight here. Oh, wait. There is. There's one in the north. The south side of the sandwich is just as annoying, right? The crunchiness of some English toast. It's very easy for them to kind of poke and prod at you with lombos and whatnot. And even if you start aggroing them on water like this, they can fight back quite efficiently. Remember, not only do they have access to Admiralty, which gives you the extra combat range, they also get their ships 10% cheaper. In fact, I'm pretty sure when I've talked to a few pros on this, and most of them seem to say and feel that there is no way to beat the English on a water-focused map. In a 1v1 on something like, for example, Holy Island or Mediterranean, there's no way. There's simply no way you can win that. And the real big thing that they highlight are these two elements, right? The cheaper ships to begin with, which escalates their fishing faster. And then also you just get to Admiralty afterwards. It's an impossible fight to take, right? Because range really dictates everything. It's just the longbow feeling on the sea instead. Well, speaking of the sea, Divine DFB is going on the offensive. So Recon will have to retreat away and... Oh, no! Recon never went for the Northern Lake. So he has nothing now. Oh, man, this is so frustrating. Donati snuck up here first. And check what Donati's doing. He's patrolling the light junk, so there's simply no way Recon can get on water. No way he can really retreat on the north side, right? Because you already see the emplacements coming out from Puppy Paw. I mean, that's it for his Water Dreams. Donati saying he has no idea why he never took that lake. I think his thought process was backup, right? Like, I'll take it eventually, but there's no rush. I don't need it now. We see this a lot from players, the whole idea of like leaving your safe resources until later. But because he never set up outposts and early warning, he just never knew. And like, he scouted it eventually. Obviously, we can tell he started off scouting this first lake, but yeah, at some point you should be layering in that extra dot going for the north side as well, right? Oh, man. Worrisome situation. I mean, Recon just went from having one of the best positions to kind of just being in the worst, right? Even Beastie's position to me looks kind of better right now. Because he at least still has access to fishing. He's guarded a little pocket for himself. And also now, because of the fact that Donati got the northern lake, it's less desirable for him to get bogged down in a fight here. So he should just kind of let things be. Recon, funnily enough, taking vengeance on Puppy Paw. I don't blame you. He built a naval arrow slit. It's his own fault. How's Numidan looking right now as well? He did go into a few of the fishing boats in the end, but you see, like, it's just not worth building many. You just burn through this resource pocket so quickly. He could have set up like a hunting cabin here. It feels bad because they're so pricey, but with this many shoreline fish, it's not the worst of ideas. Scholar Shuffle. Wait. Did he build? Okay, he did build one at home. But I think he built this mosque first, hence why he's got scholars out in the middle of nowhere. Meanwhile, Relic's been hooed up by Wham, who has a good enough army to defend and get these back home. Not an easy yoinking either, considering how far away it is. So far, has he... Where's his mosque? Did he build one out here? How has Wham got imams? Ah, there it is. So he's bringing them in. Who else has been hoovering them? Because I'm noticing a lot less relics on the map than there should be here. Recon, of course, hasn't teched up yet. Possibly Beastie? None for Beastie. And I don't think Donati snatched any yet. Okay, yeah, he's got one. So Artie, yeah, it's Artie and Wham that are basically taking all the relics right now. And that's just simply going to be the way things go now, considering that Recon never got a tech up. He's still stuck in HD. There's even a relic stuck over here. His attempt to get onto the lake is not going to work. In the meantime, Court has been taken out. What? How did I not see that? Beastie actually commits in with a few rams. And he takes down a white tower. So Court goes out first, unexpectedly here. A big strike for Beastie. Beastie securing his southern flank, with the fact that Donati is also not interested, already focusing more on the northern side. This is a perfect position for Beastie to find himself in. Compounder defender. He's got stone outcroppings down here. He can start to layer the area. So Wham needs to start addressing this and applying pressure. He's going to move in now with a mass of warrior scouts. Wave after wave should be on the way. Archers following up quickly behind this. They have got the toxins ready. I love this ID by Wham. It's not just vengeance for last game. It's the fact that right now, Beastie is the biggest threat, and he understands it. We saw how powerful the Delhi can be once they flesh out their keep lines. Sure, Puppy Paw wasn't able to win that last game, but you can't deny that his position looked incredibly strong and incredibly impossible to breach. So what does Wham do? He looks to eliminate that down-the-road worry. Mass scouts in. King is going to try to sneak out. Transport ship play. Beastie. He gets past and he gets on board, so he's safe for the moment. And folks, there is a very, very small island which he can live on. And I believe that is exactly where Beastie's going to go. What on earth is that generation? And there's no way that Donati is going to assault that anytime soon because he's distracted elsewhere. Dive into Recon's base. Court trying to build up the castle. Donati was waiting for this moment. The moment the tech up came out, he was rearing to go. And that is an absolute massacre. Recon, he'll get the castle up. But at what cost? Too many villagers to count is how many. That is a lot of corpses there. Ram's already knocking on the main door. Keep isn't going to phase these lances. I mean, Donati should be able to easily take out Recon. Meanwhile, Beastie, get on that island. Come on, make my dream come true. I need a thumbnail. Just a king on his yacht, ladies and gentlemen. Recon wishes he had that little yacht to hide on. Wishes he had that lake to the north side. If he had, maybe, just maybe, Donati wouldn't have been coming in this strong this fast. But The Artista does not wait around for anyone. You can see the reason why he's able to tank this long is the double ranged armor upgrade. Moment of silence for Recon because he comes out into a mess and he is gone. So Artie carves himself out an extra 50 pop gap. We are now down 2 players. Wham was looking to make it a third, but still, unless he wants to get on the waterfront, has no clear way of doing so. Looks like he is going to get on that waterfront. This is bad news for Beastie. He has 2 choices. Go to that little island or get back on the mainland because you don't want to be here anymore. There is quite frankly no way Beastie survives this. I want to be wrong because it would be impressive, but I am adamant he has no way out here. Oh, Beastie. Well, buddy. The escort is here, but where are we going? Are we by any chance walking away from the Malians, but into a different M? Oh no! The Mongols are coming! Don Artie. Wait, did they have an agreement? Artie? What? Yeah, not like this. There's no way. He realizes what happened here. That was almost smooth. But he will find it a bit more rough than he'd like. Beastie will not get out. And Don Artie will smile at being rewarded the easiest king kill he could ask for. I mean, you almost made that clean, Artie. It was almost like a, oh, he just ran into my arms. But, you know, the king's a love your life there. You're not going to let him get away. So another player goes down. The fact that Beastie even made that look remotely like possible is impressive. But if I'm Wham right now, I'm just so tilted. Right? Tilted and jilted because Wham is stuck on 200 pop cap and now magically Artie is up 100. Dude, Wham didn't just push him. Wham threw everything. Like, he took his body and catapulted it into Beastie's base. But still, this guy just comes out ahead. Artie now 300 pop cap. This is the moment where if you're Wham, you should be communicating this. Like, yep, Artie just killed another player. He's strong. We should do something about him. In fact, Artie, not only is he strong from a pop cap positioning, he's strong from like every way you could consider position. Look at where he's at. The entirety of the north side of the map is now his. This is Oyster, his Cloister, whatever you want to call it. He's got 4 relics. He's got 2 giant ponds of fishing. Is there anything that this man does not have? Skills. Oof. Damn, I was waiting for someone to just like, a girlfriend. I was like, Pepe. The classics. We're gamers. We don't have time for relationships. Don't sell yourself short like that, Artie. You got a good position here. Cheeky Git is trading as well. How much are we getting? 49. Okay, good. About 64. It's not that they're all dead. Don't know what's wrong with her. Wow, Artie. With seductive talk like that, I understand perfectly why you have a girlfriend. Ay, ay, ay. We haven't checked in on Divine in a while. Guy's expanding a decent amount. And we are getting the outpost layering, so he understands that he just needs to park himself here, make himself an immovable object, and then break out. And he's been doing that. Divine, he's diving for Numidan, but it's a race. The chase is on. Who will get the kill, Puppy Paw or Divine? Where is the king? Is he on the lake? What? What is it with people's kings taking a stroll in this game? Oh my good God. Get him out. Don't be deceived by the colors, folks. That's pink and purple. They're not on the same side. We are not the same. Well, Divine DFP with the most... Actually, no, I'm not even going to say that's the most donated kill of the game. I'm still going to say that the kill Donati got is the most donated one of the game. Like, Beastie was given to charity with that one there. And now Numadon is as well. Oh, good God. I get to start clashing, but this is awkward for Papipour. Like, he has the edge of having that attack speed or on the defensive, but he is now at a clear pop disadvantage once Divine DFP realizes it. Would anyone else like to walk their king somewhere? Artie? Wait, where is the king? You put him on an island? Transport ship? Am I blind? He's not in a TC. Doesn't that break all Mongol conventions? Wait, he's in an outpost. Ah, yes. Donati is creating a classic minigame, Whack-A-Mole. Oh dear, oh dear. I would have thought. No, I would have thought you would have went for the island, to be honest. Like, you know, just secure this area and then stick him on the island over here. I'm still disappointed BC didn't put him here. I was looking for the perfect thumbnail. We still got it. It's just going to have bigger spoilers. So things have slowed down. I'm now going to speed this up a bit because this is the point in the game that we should have done it last time. Oh, great frame rate, by the way. I think 2 times might be the sweet spot that we can allow. Aggro is starting to come in. It's Papipour. He's trying to block out Divine DFP from extending his influence. Divine, who has been attempting a little bit of trade. Instead, though, he's going to be going up into Imperial. White Stupa online. Papipour, however, isn't ready yet. His gold is lagging behind a bit. Now that he has access to this fat gold vein, though, expect him to race ahead. Divine, remember, we said he has this pop cap advantage, but he has to actually reach it. He's nowhere near right now. 150, almost 160. Papipour, however, he's always a pop cap. He's ready to go. It's actually crazy. If Papipour realized how strong he was right now, I think he continues to push. Instead, Divine DFP really does luck out here. Now Donati is looking to get in the mixer. This is a really, really bad fight for Wham. Remember, RT has killed 2 players. Wham has been of great assistance in killing one of those players. It means there's 100 pop difference between these two. And look at the way that RT puts it to work. Spamming out those Trebbies. Warrior Scouts are going to march around the side, but good luck. That's a lot of cannons. This is not going to work. There's no way this works. There's no way, right? Well, Wham knows what he's looking for here. But sadly, when you run like this and the enemy sees you half a map ago, they are going to have spears in position. And Cannonball her. The stupid part is, like, even after Donati pulls all these troops, his army's still big enough to now push forward. Because, you know, an extra 100 pop cap kind of does that. Oy, oy, oy. Meanwhile, Southside is really stalemated out. So Wham really needs this to just not be interfered with. Papipour is probably not going to mess with him. We have once again got a 1v1 on both sides of the map. Push in though. RT. At risk of losing the trebuchets. Main army does go down, and the Warrior Scouts have ran a lap. They've got power fights right now, and as they return, they'll be able to just mop up all the crossbows. So good fight coming in from Wham. But he needs these good fights. It's one of those classics, you know, for Wham, he has to win every time. For RT, he kind of just needs to win once. Right, that's the state of their pop. Also, the problem is if you forfeit this ground, keep in mind what comes next. Like, RT just wants to trade. He reaches trade point, and this is just kind of over. The only reason this looks somewhat like competitive is because Wham is playing a Civ that, even with the pop cap in mind, has these passive income sources via the pit mines, right? That does alleviate parts of the concern at least. But, well, you know what? Artie says the Mongols have a way of getting a bit extra resource as well. It's called burning things. And I'm going to check. I wouldn't be surprised if he has indeed got the upgraded bounty. Can I find his active ooh? Yeah, he has. So he's getting payday. Pay dirt here. So food, gold, and stone, 75 of each. Yes, please. That's going to be critical for what he wants to do next, which is creating an impenetrable base of outposts. Because remember, that stone goes a long way when it comes to getting all these cannon emplacements. 375 stone usually. I do believe Wham is at risk here. Yeah, he's going to forfeit a lot of ground. The only way that he survives this now is if someone else interferes, but, like, why would they, right? Divine still needs to build up his own impenetrable kind of fortress in the corner. Poppy Paw is your one hope, I think. And Poppy Paw is probably too paranoid about his flank, which is somewhat exposed to Divine. It's a really awkward position to find yourself in. Artie's enviable position just gets better and better. Pay dirt just keeps on coming. Absurd eco just keeps being banked here. Sofas are going to try to wiggle their way through, but I don't know what your goal really is here. Like, I know what his goal is. He's trying to go for the king. But the problem is, like, I don't think you're putting enough troops together to reach a point where you can dive kill him. Right? Like, if you had 60, 70, 80 Sofa, 80 Sofa could get in here and probably kill him. But by the time you're reaching the base, you're usually down to like 20 or 30 units. And I think the remaining units just get swept by these cannons. All right, Artie, come on. You're slacking here. You got an extra 100 pop cap. A few spearmen in each of these outposts, please. Ah, yes, that feeling where killing units is helping your opponent. But sadly, if you're Wham, you have to. Because if you don't kill these units, you know exactly where they're going. They're going for the king. I'd call this a race, but it's more like watching someone try to chase after a Ferrari. And that Ferrari goes fast. Horsemen are in. There is no castle nearby. There is no transpo ship. There is no escape for Wham. He is stuck here. And he's going to realize too late that this is his grave. Artie is about to get 350 pop cap. King comes out, shakes it all about, and then gets slapped down. Artie, 350 pop cap. Someone stop this, man. This is absurd. I almost feel like there needs to be an indicator of who has the pop cap. Because I'm wondering right now, do Poppy Paw and Divine even know what's happened here? Do they realize that Artie almost has more pop cap than them both? Folks, he's only 100 behind. Oh, good lord. I mean, this is, I believe the technical term is an absolute shellacking. Yeah, Poppy Paw's trying to get cute with Horseman now, but Artie has enough, like, he has enough pop cap that he can get enough Horsemen together to make a feasible attempt on both kings at the same time. And he is setting up for that, by the way. Look at what he's doing with his eco. 145. He's not doing this like, well, I can afford 200 pop cap into villages now. No, he's just sticking around 150. And everything else goes into military. That means that he is at a normal game worth of strength in military, right? 200 pop cap into military. I just remember there's someone on Reddit that hates I say pop cap like that. Pop cap, pop cap, pop cap. Well, it's time to see who's going to get capped. In the ass. Because maneuverings are underway. Now, this is what might make things a bit difficult to get in on the Mongol player. Is the Bao Chuan fleet. So this might be the point where Artie thinks, let's go after the English player. An English player who, by the way, you need to eat the berries quicker. Imagine if you lost your king because you didn't eat enough berries. Puppy. So he killed an outpost, right? Yeah. I see you got the outpost. I didn't. Wait. So he almost got. Oh my god, dude. The fact it was even that close. Now I realize why Artie didn't mind me casting this game. If he died in that situation, he would have said it was the worst game ever. We shouldn't cast it. Artie's had uncomfortable moments with kings before. We saw one yesterday, but he dodges one this time around. He's like, oh yeah, this outpost has been burned. I'm just going to move a second one across to be safe. Oh my. Dude, I didn't even look at it because it's like there's no world in which that raid should work, right? What was it, 20, 30 horsemen? We've seen it like 3 times over. Oh boy. Whole army's like, protect the king! No, he's fine, guys. Chill. Oh, I've got a feeling... There's no moves to be made on the map, so we're going to speed this up a little bit. It's just mainly now Divine moving for central resources. Trade is underway, though, and this is the problem. I think at this rate, Artie... I mean, not even this rate. Artie can just commit for a wonder, I think. Just get the wood and go. Like, fighting this is too oppressive. He does... I don't know... Let's check... Can we check Artie's vision? I'm going to slow down the game so it doesn't screw us when we do. Okay, yeah, so Artie has no clue what this side of the map looks like. So I think he's probably going to play for a wonder because there's probably a paranoia that this sea line goes all the way down. So there's no way around the Baochuans. So he either A, builds into siege to address them directly, or he just says, okay, I'm simply going to wonder. He's still looking for a way, though. Wait. Is there there is an incredibly messy path around this way, by the way. It's really bad. Like, it is a Baochuan kill zone if they get in position. But there is a way, ladies and gentlemen. And there is a lot of people on their way. 69 horsemen, 70 spearmen, 35 hand cannons. You know, I like to think that Don stopped at that horseman count because it's the perfect number. Trade just still keeps going on. Some of them are going to die, but most of them will get through. Same can be said of Artie's army. On the way, I see no cannon emplacement. This is going to end badly. If Artie realizes. But he doesn't. Okay. No concern here, folks. The hilarity is that was kind of like a free ticket, right? That was actually a free ticket into the base. So instead, Artie's just going to go back the other way. Maybe the pathfinding didn't work because of the dock, but he shouldn't have stopped it. This looks walkable. It's fine, though. Like we said, for Artie, if you just now hoard the wood, you're fine. You still win. Oh, march in. Baochuan's caught not looking. I don't know who's winning from this. I mean, like, raw resources in the bank behind this, sure, it's obvious as Artie. But in terms of murder, no, it's still Artie. It's 100% still Artie. The Baochuans didn't even really get to do their raw damage. They died too fast. And don't worry about that spoil that Artie gave, folks. He's thinking of a different game. This one doesn't have Avali in it, or Core. Oi. Puppy paw. Well, now, guys, considering that Artie maybe whoopsie-daisied a little, are we about to see Revenge of the Jedi? New unreleased version of the epilogue? Maybe. He's marching in. Cannon's going to fire off. Spearmen are in position, though. Don Artie's not going to get caught with his trousers down this time around. Instead, the only reason his trousers are down is because he's got the belt in his hands and he's ready to beat someone. says, you better call me daddy. Horseman in the choke point, they can't get around. There is simply no way that Poppy Paw can burn it down fast enough. He's gonna try though. Maybe. Let's not deny, let's not be delusional, folks. There's no way. Oh, a 20-gun salute right there. There's one of those moments where you have like one of those inspirational posters that says something like, if at first you don't succeed, give up, you're a failure. It doesn't really feel like this is going to work. Oh, good lord. Now, the good news, at least for Poppy Paw fans, is he can afford to do this many times due to how big his base is and his farms are. However, he's going to have to do this up against even bigger PopCap advantage because Donna is trying to crack the whole. I think Artie can just beeline it, right? Cannon. Most of these are not cannons. If Artie realizes it and just goes in, he can just kill. Magadai are going to whittle him down, though. And they commit to the clash. Artie a little bit late to realize. We'll peel back to let the spearman through. Now, this is not going to kill Divine DFB straight away. But it is going to weaken him to a point where a second wave can. And Donati has that second wave ready already. They are already on their way. Hand Cannoneers are definitely going to clean up the remainder here. Before being finished off by the outposts themselves. Divine DFB reproducing as quickly as possible. Check the food count, folks. About 1.5k food income a minute. He can't sustain this at the rate that Artie can. Artie, who's built up a war chest of 27,000 food. We're doing this again? We're doing this again. And isn't this basically all of Divine DFB's extra pop cap? More. Remember, each of these costs 5, and he has 21 in total. Divine DFP has invested 105 of his population into Baochuans. And I really don't think that they matter. Like, I get a few to try and just keep control for fishing, because you need it. But more than that, just, it feels kind of overkill. It looks cool. Right? Like, come on, guys, it looks cool. But that's it. I wonder if he'll realize. I mean, you don't even want to hit the delete key because he was so pricey. He will hit the delete key. That's still a lot of Baochuans in the pop cap, though. I think he needs everything for land here to stand a chance. Donati. Yeah. This is the brilliant thing for him in the downtime. Just burn more structures, get paid. He's almost got enough for a wonder victory. Magadai are going to be a nuisance, but like, if we're being real here, Donati could either go Magadai himself, or he just relies on hand cannoneers. Only so far you can run, right? Is it me or are these fights looking more pitiful? This one seems to not be targeted at the king. Just shrinking the eco. So it seems both players do understand that Donati, he is the king right now. He has to be killed. I'm gonna keep this on fast forward because there's nothing big happening right now, but this could be, yeah, let's be totally real. The men at arms are gonna die to the cannons, right? Maybe with the horsemen? Maybe? I think Artie's protected himself because this second layering of outposts through all the buildings. It means you're dying before you even reach the critical area. Staggered formation. We'll have to see if Poppy Paw can do it. Because the problem with staggered formation is you don't stay staggered when you go through these choke points. Marching. Men at arms, they are halfway there. And they're dead. And there's more outposts. He's at least blocking some of the trade out. I don't think Artie cares as much as he should, though. I mean, look, he's so close to that wonder. To be honest, he doesn't have to care. He's got so much gold in the bank that this is just a short-term annoyance. Looks like he was forced to pull the whole army back, so restructuring for a large size. This is one of the annoying things when you play Mongols, is like you just can't protect your flanks, right? You can't wall them off. So there is always this frustrating flank attack that can occur. It's a good thing that Poppy Paw is doing this as well, because it's the only thing that gives Divine DFP an opportunity. Divine, who, by the way, has actually got an absurd amount of trading going on. He could try to go for a Wonder. I think this might be the point where Donati wants to try and lock in a Wonder. Because if he can't get back out into the map and block out, there's just a risk that someone else is going to beat it. And let's be real, if you go Wonder in this situation, you've got plenty in the bank behind it. It's not going to hurt your ability to fight. And also, it's not like it's going to change the diplomatic landscape. Poppy Paw and Divine are clearly teaming against you now. They have to. So going for a Wonder isn't... It's not going to create the situation where someone wasn't attacking you before and now they are. Speed this up a bit again. Where's the third? Oh yeah, third's over here. So Sacred Sight, the only person who can play Sacred Sight is Divine. Are we leaving room for the Wonder? Yeah, we are, right here. So outpost being set up, room for the Wonder afterwards. I think Artie is now starting to change the plan a bit. He'll rush through the remaining wood. Could move to the east side. There's plenty of wood in this area, so you'll never exhaust yourself. But we're diving like our name's Cristiano Ronaldo right now. And it's not working out for Poppy Paw. Just army after army thrown away. I think he would benefit a lot from a proxy base, considering he's pushing mass men-at-arms. Playing across the map like this, you're just missing opportunities to strike, right? It's one of those awkward things, though, because you're up against the improved bounty on the Mongols. So any buildings you leave in the mid-map, if they're lost, you just gave them more stone for more of these cannons. Well, Donati is done waiting around. It is finally time. The Monument, the Great Khan on the way. It's going to make someone else feel a little bit of less of a Khan, shall we say. I can't do. Because there was no way that Divine DFP could match this timing. His stone was still lacking. So now they have to commit. This should be the point where Divine burns a lot more of the Baochuans. Like, this is way too many. He needs the extra pop cap now. And look at the room made by that deforestation. So plenty of outposts that can be spammed up the wazoo, really. Wouldn't mind him actually layering them even further away, just so that you get that early strike point. Artie does need to find some more buildings to burn if he wants to access that stone. Really could just take out a lot of these buildings in this area. Instead, it seems someone else is going to take them. Artie leaves his step read out behind. Says, who needs that? Who needs more gold, lol? I've only got 300. Yeah, I got 300 gold. Who needs more gold? How is he? Oh my god, I see how. He went 146 hand cannons. What in the name of Boomstick is this? Good god, the gold. You are correct. Divine could be going for Sacred Sites, but like, here's the problem with Dynamic here. If Divine steps on the Sacred Sites, Poppy Paw turns on him. The only way that you can now win this is by working together. There's no logical reason for Divine to be given a win by Poppy Paw here. If this was like a point format and there was a big discrepancy, he would like, and you know, stopping Don from winning outright is better than sure. But that doesn't exist here. That's not a solution, right? So don't expect Sacred Site victory to be unlocked for Divine. Divine, who has gone Mass Magadai against Mass Bombard Cannons. Would anyone like to guess which one wins? We're gonna get to find out. Okay, admittedly, this is not the fight. This is the warm-up. But remember, I'm speeding this up. Just look at the time I don't go down. This is just time burn, time wasted. I still cannot understand why Divine DFP has 17 Baochuans. Please just hit the delete key. Maybe we were just looking at this wrong. Maybe Divine had a really bad experience in a pub game once where he accidentally deleted all his villagers when he like held Dell and selected someone else. And that's why he's very paranoid about deleting things now. Something's going on there. I think Magadai are really counterproductive when you're trying to joint push a Wonder. Because at some point you're going to stack up. And the moment you do, like, you can't control who the Magadai are going to attack. right? Because they just, like, panic spray. And while you can kind of, like, clearly target something, it feels suboptimal, the Magnite. That's not the reason you build them. So I think you're just in a situation where you can't help Puppypaw. It's just really kind of Puppypaw versus Donati. And you have to run over 100 melee units into choke points full of cannons, only to eventually reach mini cannons, 136 of them. Well, we're past the Sacred Site, far past it now, so it really is just this or nothing. Puppypaw deciding that life is a journey. So he wants to take the Lord of the Rings equivalent here as he's going through the west side of the base, which is the furthest way to go to reach the monument. Oh, it is not looking good. Notice that Don does not even move. He refuses to come towards you here. He's like, oh wait, it's fine. Decent amount of torch damage done here, but still many, many cannons to go. And Divine, is he finally making a move? Because I feel like that this has been a bit discombobulated. He actually has a decent angle if he goes this way. Crazy part is I still think he could have went around this side of the shoreline. Would get him quicker into position for that eastern angle. Well, at least Divine doesn't have to worry about PopCap anymore. He's finally done it. Goodbye to the treasure fleet. The Bouchurons are gone. His production rates also gone. Okay, he's adding in knights now. This felt a bit slow. I think he's got siege workshops though. So okay, now we see the real plan coming out. Proxy base into siege push. This is doable. 7 minutes remain. Puppypaw has shrunk the reproduction rates of Donati. Be frustrating for him because Artie can definitely afford to push out more units, right? He's got that food in reserve, a decent amount of gold and wood as well. So although it seems trivial, it does help. Bombard Warrior has arrived. 8 ready to play. Divine actually going double digits with the siege count. This could be fast, but it has to be, is the thing. 6.5 minutes away from a Don Artery dub. The Don Artery really is, these hand cannoneers though, the lifeblood for him. 136 is just so difficult to deal with. Nothing can dive this. I'm glad that the Divine identified this and went max bombards, because like you can't rush this. It's just awkward that it took this long to get the bombards in. You know what they say? 9 minutes of fumbling for 2 minutes of serious stuff. Every premature ejaculator's worst nightmare. Or biggest dream, I guess. It really feels like you've only got 2 minutes to do enough damage, right? Like, look how far you've still got to go. Screen and a half. Second wave is on the way from Puppypaw. Still building them all the way from home, so it takes them a while. Need to be in sync on this, though. Need to not overlap. Divine. Bit of a predicament, right? Finding yourself in range of these cannons, there's a risk that if you aren't repairing them, you could lose the first wave of bombards. And might be too late to reproduce. And people asking a good question, like, would it have been more efficient for Donati to attack Wham's arm in the western, western front when he attacked the towers? Yes, but here, check this. Artie's vision, he didn't know what Divine was doing. So if he moved his army away and Divine has built X amount of knights, he could have dove in and burnt the Wonder. I actually agreed with Artie's idea to not care about the western flank. I think that could have cost him the game. Now Artie, he's not going to wait around here. He knows he needs to buy some time. Max hand cannoneers. It's a field day right here, an absolute massacre. Like going up against Nobunaga with cavalry is simply not going to work. The chase is on. Now, if this is communicated, there's a way in, but it needs to be fast from Puppypaw. It might not even be good enough. Donati has eviscerated Divine DFB. And these bombards have been pushed far enough back, folks. 4 minutes out from a Don victory. The Donster, he says, oh, outposts? That's brilliant. Let me just burn those down. That's going to be more outpost cannons for me. I don't know why they're not communicating that. It feels like there's nothing being said here. You know, Divine should be like, okay, I got attacked. And that should be the go time for Puppy Paw. If Puppy Paw, he's pop capped. He's waiting on the remaining troops to arrive. By the time he actually goes for his assault, Don's going to be back and ready to defend. I think this is just done. 6 bombards. He's not producing more. I feel like Divine DFP has frequently been caught below pop cap with absurd resource bank. It's kind of crazy how often this has been happening. Like, there was no reproduction into new bombards. There's no new lancers being added in. You need to be pop cap if you want to break in at all. And remember, he's the player with the extra 50 pop cap, so it's very important that he is utilizing that. If they want to overcome Donai, who's consistently 300 plus. Well, let the massacre commence. Donai firing off like it's the 4th of July. Choke points are an absolute bloodbath. No way through for the English. Bombards are trying to move in. They are getting close to the Wonder. But I'm wondering who's going to defend them. Immediately, without hesitation, Donati on the move. And remember, he has got the extra move speed via the Yam. He'll dive in. Bombards will be pushed back where they came from. Army gone for Puppy Paw. Their hopes, their dreams have been turned to fear. Donati is unstoppable. Whew. What a game out of him as well. Artie, that yoink on Beastie's King definitely went the mile in the mid-game. Allowed him to just overwhelm Wham. That's the key point of this game. Think back to there. If Wham had actually got the kill on the Malian, on the Malians, on the Beastie, got the extra pop cap, we'd probably have a real slog in this late game, at least between two powerhouses. But because of Don's fortuitous timing and the yoinking that commenced, put himself in prime position here. Understood that, as he put it in his own words, just go Monopoly mode and come out ahead. And there was simply no one left to stop him. So Artie, a guy that usually thrives on the early mid-game, doesn't like that late game. It's not really where he wants to be. Finds himself there and finds himself with a very cozy win here. And it was earned, folks. This man had to kill 3 players to get there. 3 players and a Wonder. Sounds like something you shouldn't search on Google. Actually do. Hopefully this replay will come up.